We'd like to welcome you all to another edition of the Side Dive podcast. William Johnson, Brandon Johnson, Tim Jaspery, bringing you our fan takes of Cyclone Sports. You're in for a special treat. It's the Cy Divies, our Side Eye Podcast Award Show. If we were professionals, I would be pushing a button and there'd be cheers and claps and all that. Maybe season 4. But until then, you get nothing except our melodious voices. So yeah, regular season has finished. And the good news is your Cyclones are going bowling. Yes, going to the Liberty Bowl, familiar spot versus a familiar foe. But before that, we need to revisit the season, regular season. In particular, how we felt at the beginning of the season compared to how we felt as the season went on. So we're going to go through our predictions and see how well they came true. Now, do we want to go game by game, or we just want to talk?
No, I'll just overall, I think.
Overall. Okay. So, preseason, Pipes Ditto, you had the Cyclones finishing at 7-5.
Bam.
VJ, you had them finishing 4-8. And I had them finishing 5-7. So Pipes he did the best out of the three of us.
Very optimistic.
Yes. His optimism paid dividends for him. You were
I just feel it in my bones, you know.
You know that shit happens, and you were right. Because what we end up 7-5.
Yep.
So, I mean, spot on.
They got their
It was not the 7-5 you had predicted, but you still got the number correct.
Yeah, I know I didn't have them lose to Ohio, so.
Yeah. So, as we went through the season, and granted we had the benefit of just picking prior to that game, so it helps a little knowing. But by the end of the season, Pipes, your picks were, I literally wrote it down, and now I'm circling it up. You, in your preseason picks, were predicted 9 of the 12 correctly. You were 9-3. Your picks, VJ was 6-6, and I was 8-4. So Pipes, you knocked it out of the park.
I guess when you pick them to win pretty much every game, you know, and they
because the thing the only game you had you predicted two of the losses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, our champion picker, Tim Jasper, PIPES.
I have beer.
Hopefully, VJ, you and I can do better. Maybe next year we'll have a little bit more optimism about our squad. Of course, there's going to be 2 less difficult games than normal off of that. with those turncoats. But let's get right into it. The side eye. First category, we should have had a whole drum roll thing and an envelope.
Man, we need to hire a producer.
Yeah, for real. Any of you 15 know anything about producing? We get you in. Hey, you will get paid in virtual dollars. And I mean virtually because I will just be telling you, here's some money like this over the airwaves. So, yeah, anybody who wants to have some fun and can produce something, holla at your boys. But yeah, so offensive MVP, who y'all got?
I think it's got to be Rocco.
DJ?
I'm thinking of all the offensive people on the field. I'm gonna go with the Rocco as well.
I mean, I just think it was. It was just a no-brainer. He played the most consistently throughout, and just too many running backs were getting the rock.
Yep.
For it to be any of them. I mean, one could have said or Higgins was extremely valuable, but no, it's gotta be Rocco because we didn't expect it. He did extremely well.
Yeah. I mean, just the way he. I mean, he threw a couple pick sixes, but it seemed like more than not when he had to make the play, he did, and he was just so consistent. So, I mean, if I put anybody behind him, maybe go with the whole offensive line because I think they got better during the year. They protected him pretty well all year, but the improvement of the run game through the year, I would think they make the offensive line roll a close second there.
Yeah. All right, flipping sides to the defense. Who on the defense?
Yes.
I would say I almost gotta go with Cooper.
Yeah, I can see that.
I agree. It's Cooper.
I don't. I'm going TJ Tampa because Cooper played that safety the opposite of TJ, so he always had that. Nobody was going to that side of the field, because he had it locked down. So I think Cooper benefited a lot off that. So that I'm going with TJ Tampa.
Well, while I see what you're saying, it's 2-1.
I'm just making my case. I think you can.
I mean, yes, very eloquently stated. And I do not think you sway the mind of the judges.
No,
I just think that I think Cooper set the tone for
Early.
that defense.
Yeah, really
that
early.
Defense played completely different when he was in and Verdon went out.
Yeah.
When you would, I didn't see as big a drop off as when it was the other way around.
Right. Yeah. No, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Was not on the list, but I want to throw it in there. Special teams player.
Yep. Oh, for sure.
I mean, is that not the punter?
No, I say Contreras because he pretty much made every field goal that was the only ones that seemed like he missed were because of bad snaps. So I'd go with Contreras. BJ?
I don't know. I mean, I do like what the punter did. Who was it?
You can
Perkins?
put a returner on here too.
Is it Perkins? Yeah, no. I mean, I thought
Do we even
field
have
goal
any
wise was good.
great
I mean,
return?
I thought I'm going to go with punter as well.
Yeah, he was good too.
Do we even have any good punt returns?
Yeah, Jalen Noel.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Dude,
I was thinking. Yeah,
I
that's right.
mean, I'm probably giving it to the kicker more because just of what we saw last year. But as far as what Noel did in the return game, in some of those games, I mean, he was eating up yards, and recent years that they didn't return the punt, they just caught it, and they were always fair catching it. So
I remember y'all complaining about that quite a bit.
yeah, so
Me?
yeah. or are we just going to give it to the special teams coach?
All that. See what happened. See what happened.
Williams guy.
Should listen to me sooner.
Yeah.
Damn, I should get like some kind of consultant fee or something. Come on and hear what we got to say. We ain't dummies. Newcomer of the year. So are we going to be? Are we going to? So the newcomer can be an incoming freshman or a transfer.
Yep.
Well, shit. Isn't this Contreras' first year with us?
It is.
Shit, I don't know.
Bramer, Higgins,
Yeah.
Sama.
Well, I can't go Sama because it just all came too late.
Okay. Yep.
While Bramer and Contreras both were doing something the whole season.
Yep.
Because Bramer had some big catches in some big third down spots.
In Iowa game, they put DeJean on him in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but I don't know how I go against I don't know how I go against Contreras. I mean, especially going off of your comment.
Yeah.
Look where we were compared to what we were this year.
Yeah. That almost might be changing mine too, because I mean he was points on the board,
Yeah, I don't know that I can go against Contreras because and you say that points on the board.
Yeah.
Shit. Can we move him to offensive MVP as well?
Yeah.
Did he do kickoffs? It could have been the defensive player of the year. Shit. Most surprised by.
What? So, for the
That's
newcomer,
easy for me.
For the newcomer, I think I would go with Higgins.
Oh, that is his first year.
Yep.
Some of these dudes seem like they've been here. I don't know. So, I say Contreras. You saying Higgins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Because as he progressed, the offense really progressed too.
Now there's three dudes in there.
Yep, being deep threat. Who do you have, BJ?
I don't.
Nobody?
Can't do that. Say Bramer, it could be a split.
There we go.
Shit. Is Bacon a newcomer?
He's a redshirt sophomore, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
okay.
Yep. So,
He might be in for the next award.
Yes, sir.
Although I know I can't vote for him on that because I gotta eat crow or something else. So we just not giving out a newcomer. Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one from each one of us.
Well, most surprised by is easy for me because I didn't even want to do it in the spot anyway, and that's Rocco.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember. I was all 10 toes down on JJ Cole being the quarterback all the way up, even after they named Rocco, I was still on JJ Cole. So as surprised by it's got to be that.
Yes.
As bad as my Tyrese, almost as bad as my Tyrese Halliburton.
Well, I mean, I think most of the fan base felt the same way. They were. I think most everybody was waiting. You know.
Well,
I think they thought by the 5th game we'd have a new quarterback at least, if not before that.
Well, and in fairness to us, old boy comes in highly decorated.
Yeah, he's the highest recruit ever at Iowa State.
So I mean, that's when you're able to wrestle that kind of person away.
Yeah,
that's why you're desperate to see him. If I won't go there because I'll give me down another one. But we've seen it.
Because we'll probably be talking about that in basketball when we talk basketball.
That's why I held off. So who do y'all think for most surprising?
I think it's got to be Caleb Bacon because first of all, I never heard of him before this year. I'd heard about Rocco and
I just asked if he was a freshman.
What's that?
I said I just asked if he was a freshman.
For sure, yeah. So and he earned himself a scholarship.
And an NIL deal.
Did you get? Yeah, exactly. He got the NIL deal first, and then he got the scholarship. So did you guys see that video? Because it was him and the Surges. Got scholarships.
I didn't watch the video.
Oh, it's pretty good. I mean, those videos are always good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, BJ.
Yeah, it's Bacon.
Okay. That's cool.
That's VJ's guy.
You're right. Shit. If you told me about Iowa State bacon, I'd be like, where can I buy it? I wouldn't know because, like you said, never heard of him.
I hope he's a hog farmer. That'd be awesome. Because when he graduates, he can, or hell, maybe before he graduates, Caleb Bacon's bacon.
There you go. And the last Cy Divies, the most exciting for me. That's got to be one or two people, and they both can do it. And they both do it in different ways. One is going to be Sama, and the other is Noel.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to pick because we've obviously seen how explosive and game changing both of them are.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have the ability,
it's Sama
go ahead, I have to say Sama.
Yeah, me too. Because it's like when he gets the ball, you just know if he gets a block and a half, it could he could be housing it. So
there's that hold your breath gasp of what's about to happen.
Yep. So but I do agree with your take on Jalen Noel. It's hard not to give it to him too because I mean, he had a lot of explosive plays this year.
Yes.
I mean, like we talked before, special teams
and one of the most explosive stopped by an inadvertent whistle.
Now
Or
I couldn't
whistle should
remember
have been there.
if I put most improved on that list. I don't think I did, but I would give it to if we had a most improved, that I would give that to Jalen Noel, because he just became that consistent playmaker, you know. Whereas before he seemed like, you know,
with the struggles.
Yeah.
Overcame the struggles and became the number one. You took over the spot by X.
Yep.
And that's a big spot to. I mean, that's a big huge hole to fill.
Yeah.
And we've had a pretty good group of number one receivers lately.
Yeah. But remember, beginning of the year, I was like, oh man, these guys are pedestrian. You know, I was bagging on them. But then
I'm calling for two dudes who are in the portal now. Hey, I was one of them dudes waving my Greg Gaines flag. I put my boy in. You know, you want to win, man? Put Gaines in.
Well, I mean, even before the season, they were talking about that the freshman from Lincoln too. That I can't think of how to pronounce his name right now. So, but he was getting a lot of talk, you know. So it was good to see Noel step up and be explosive and consistent.
For sure. Well, it was mentioned earlier. Clones are going back to the Liberty Bowl, taking on Memphis. So it's going to be up to us Cyclone fans to make it not seem like a road game. Of course, their fans might be like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, we got another game here.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You know, here come all them goddamn Busch Light drinking yahoos from up north. But yeah, Memphis. What do y'all think?
I'm glad
I don't know anything about them.
Evidently, their offense is really good. They played into the fourth quarter with Missouri. I know that. And yeah, Joe Skate still plays for them, and they have Iowa State's old offensive line coach.
Who?
Memphis does. Jeff Myers.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Okay.
But I'm not excited about the matchup just because. I mean, I wouldn't be mind going to Liberty Bowl, and we are, you know, playing some SEC team, but because I think it's the bowl we deserve, you know.
Yeah.
But I like it's on a Friday afternoon, so.
For sure on that one. Heck yeah. Because we've gotten a lot of middle of the week bowls.
Yeah, because all the other ones, the other one would have been like the 26th. I think the other one, and there was one before Christmas. I don't know what the date on that one was, but that they were talking.
Damn, that would have been next week.
Yeah.
Because game start was Saturday, I believe. Of the first bowl games. So Memphis, their biggest games, they lost to SMU. Only by 4. But they don't really have a whole lot of top flight. Yeah, lost to Missouri by 7. But yeah, I mean, you beat Bethune-Cookman, Arkansas State, Navy. They beat Boise State.
Boise State fired their coach.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, I know that they may have a good offense, but apparently they ain't got a good defense.
No, their rush defense is like one of the worst in the nation.
The points just kept climbing with what they surrendered, even in the wins. I mean, 34, 38, 50, 42. That was all in a 4-week span that they gave up all that. So I hope sincerely for Memphis and their fans' sake that they're not expecting some kind of shootout, because y'all ain't Oklahoma, and that was the only real team that really shot us out. So yeah, y'all scoring 54 and 59. No, that's not going to be the only way. That is if you got dudes, a bunch of dudes opt out. That would be about the only way that could possibly happen. And I mean, a lot of those dudes would have to. Just the way that defensive plays, it doesn't even allow for that to happen.
You guys think TJ Tampa ends up playing? He hasn't opted out yet.
I would say by now I would think he's playing.
Because
I would have thought, that I think that advice would probably come in as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but you remember what was it, the Cheez-It Bowl? I was trying to remember. I didn't think they announced that Brees wasn't playing until like game time.
It was right before game time.
And it was same thing with Mike Rose. So I think Campbell just treats it. I think Campbell's probably going to treat it like I'm not going to. I don't have to tell anybody. He doesn't have to tell anybody.
Yeah.
So we'll keep it quiet right before the game.
I mean, I could obviously see him opting out, and I don't think it'd be. I don't think it's going to be as big an issue.
I would. If I was him, I would.
Oh yeah, I would too. I mean, I guess it's gonna depend on what kind of data they're picking up from the NFL.
True.
Because I mean, if you're talking, if you're from the fourth round down, then you might want to get an extra game in.
Yeah. Well, and if you do come out and have 3 interceptions or do something crazy, I don't know.
And a team that wants to throw it around,
right.
You're going to have that opportunity. There's one more showcase game. So, but yeah. I mean, who else is projected for the pros? Who could possibly opt out?
He's about the only one, I would think.
Then yeah, everybody else, I would assume, will be playing. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be without studying. I'm going to say the Clones are going to win. We don't obviously have to predict that right now. But.
No, we can talk about that before the game.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, Memphis is old hat for Cyclone fans. So y'all enjoy that and good. You go do what you do. If somebody's coming right back, bring me some barbecue. Anybody from Omaha is going down there, give me some of that Memphis barbecue. Yeah, I'll be eating that at 2 a.m. whenever you land. I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, last time we went, Isabella's friend came along. We went to Vargo's. That's the name of it, isn't it? Charlie. Yeah, I think it's Vargo's. Charlie Vargo's down there in the basement. You went there with us. You took us there, VJ.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least you're the one that found where it was at. But anyway, the girl that had never had ribs before.
Oh,
So those were her first ribs. Yeah,
Damn.
she took care of it. I was like, that's good to see. Good to see. Got a new barbecue fan, so no, that was fun.
What the fuck am I looking at? Oh, I'm not looking at something I'm supposed to.
Oh, and she was like 14 to 16 too. So it's like, to be that old and not have had ribs, it's not right.
No, I totally agree.
Same.
All right. So we haven't got to talk about it in a little bit, but we're going to do some basketball talk. Since we last had a chance to talk, the women's team played, were they number 4 then?
Yep.
The number 4 Iowa Hawkeyes. They've had 2 games since, and then played North Dakota State.
They played well.
Sunday.
That game, I thought.
Huh?
Against North Dakota State.
Yeah. So we revisit the matchup of Caitlin Clark and the Clarkettes taking on the Fab Five plus a few older girls. For everybody who thought it was going to be a blowout, and I was one of them, we were all surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, the score is 67-58. Those 9 points, it may seem like a lot, but that all came late. And because halfway through the fourth quarter, that game was still in doubt. And I know there was a whole lot of Hawkeye fans really gripping their chairs during that game, because I was gripping mine watching it.
Yeah. Wasn't it the under 5-minute mark, and we were Cyclones were up by 1?
Yeah, but there was like 450 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I think they just ran out of steam.
I think. Yeah, it seemed like they had. I mean, I honestly, I think if Emily Ryan was playing that game, Cyclones might have won.
No, I definitely think they would have.
Because after that lead, there was like 4 empty possessions in a row, and it was a lot of. There wasn't much ball movement, and there was just a lot of one. They would back it down and end up with a.
Correct.
Yeah. So, I think that was just. I mean, Vernon, don't you think that's just from a team? First of all, not really knowing who their go-to player is, and just not having the experience of being in that situation very much, as a team together.
Yeah, I just thought that that play worked a couple times, and then they went to that well constantly, thinking they had an advantage. And, once it stopped, they should have tried to get back into the flow of an offense. Because, it obviously did not help them at all. I mean, and neither team shot well either.
Right. Well, because, I mean, in those situations, whether it's stated or not, most teams, I mean, the team knows who they want to go to, who's going to take, and I just don't think we know that yet. Who that is.
I mean, but they thought they did at that time in that game. They thought they had someone who could close out the game for them. Doing I don't know, a LeBron James type, Shaquille O'Neal type.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
Yeah, but like William said, I'm sure a lot of Hawkeye fans were shocked, surprised, concerned.
Oh yeah, I saw it all over Twitter.
Well, so
I mean, and they were killing their own team. What are we going to be doing next year?
Well, that's a good question to ask.
Well,
and
that's
they're like, and then they're like, we're not gonna. There's no way we're getting to the Final Four with this team.
Oh, damn, they're falling off a cliff.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more.
well, that's
If
what I was. I was
the team
surprised.
I saw in Ames
Yeah.
is the team that's going to be, if they're going to be playing like that in March, to early exit.
So I texted you during the game. I was actually surprised by your reply because I was like, is this really the number 4 team in the nation? And you were pretty nice about it as far as, you were like, well, rivalry game on the road, but I mean, it just didn't seem like they were the number 4 team in the nation to me.
No,
But
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so at all. I mean, if Iowa played, if they had like the NBA had themselves a little mini tournament right now, and you took Iowa and put them down on the court against LSU, now they get trounced.
but dude, they got man.
I mean, look what if K-State did what they did to them.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I was like, they pretty well got handled by K-State.
I can't even imagine what South Carolina would do to Iowa right now.
Yeah. South Carolina, UCLA, Utah. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, okay, so I don't think they're beating Stanford's, and I don't think they're beating that next group. They're just they're just they're on the straight to Caitlin Clark, and as far as she can take them. If she went down this year,
oh yeah. So that was another thing I texted you during the game. I like our roster better. I mean, outside of Caitlin, I wouldn't trade for anybody else on their team. I don't think.
I would.
Who's that?
Young lady from Cedar Rapids, Stelky.
Okay.
Wait,
however,
are you trading Crooks for her? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't
take her or trade for her.
I would take Stelky, and honestly,
I'm just talking about swap them.
Okay, if I'm gonna, I'll tell you what. Sorry, Nanabu.
Okay. I would agree with that.
But I don't think. I mean, we gotta make it a comparable trade.
Well, no, but
they ain't taking that one without cash or some shit like that.
And I agree with you. I agree with you.
I was talking more long term anyway. As far it's just overall.
I got you.
I just.
Well, I mean, here's the thing I'll say. If, as far as I'm concerned, right now, Iowa State is not playing. Is playing without their best player.
Yep.
So if you take the best player off of everybody's team, like if you took Caitlin Clark off of Iowa, they're near the bottom of the Big Ten.
Oh yeah, we would have destroyed them then.
Because that tells me their team is pretty trash because Iowa State's playing well without their best player and their leader.
Yeah, and they're learning how to play together still. So.
Yeah. So I mean, I think. I guess for just the people who are playing, I gotta tip my hat to Nia Meridew because my assumption is all the new people probably look to her because she's the on-court person of how do we do this around here, and there's a lot of new faces up in there. So I mean, her, Emily Ryan, Shantavia, and Mary Kate probably got their hands full. navigating all these new faces into the Bill Finley Iowa State women's basketball climate.
Yeah, young squad. I already like the way they've gelled and grown thus far through the season. It's good. Good to see. Fun to watch.
Yeah, and did you guys see any of the post game interviews? Crooks, I think Crooks and I think it was Eddie Brown. Yeah, I mean they were
after the Iowa game.
Yeah, they were pretty upbeat. I mean, you could tell that. I mean, that was a measuring stick game, and they measured up pretty well. So it seemed like they were proud of that.
All right. Well, the Cyclones got 2 games left prior to the start of Big 12 play, which is on December 30th on the road at Okie State. But before that, on Sunday, they play Troy, host Troy, a noon game. And then on Wednesday, playing another in-state rival.
Ooh.
Way to go, Big 4 women. Men. Well, I guess we'll bring that up in the next segment. Bums. Yeah, they play UNI on Wednesday the 20th, 6:30.
Is that a home game?
Yep, at home as well.
Oh, cool.
So, yes, Sunday and Wednesday, you can catch Cyclone women, and then they're off until the 30th. So let's all hop over here to the men's side. Since we last spoke, the men took on the Iowa men and Prairie View A&M, and I guess you could only describe it as buckets, buckets, and more buckets.
Damn.
A lot of points were scored, and not just against Prairie View A&M. I'm talking about 90 of them things got put on them boys from out east.
Yes.
That game was only in jeopardy at the tip. After the tip, the game was over. If you haven't seen the game and you're not going to watch, but you want to know what happened, there's a lot of baskets on the Cyclone side and not as many on the Iowa side, and they was coming fast and furious in that Iowa game. I mean,
it was men versus boys, especially on the inside.
I mean, yeah, it was just wild to me how dominant that was, especially because I had watched Iowa against Purdue, and is it Cricky?
Yeah.
He held that pretty well against Edie.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that was going to be, I'm like, well, if he shoving his big ass around, I mean, what the hell's going to happen? And you know why nothing happened? Because nobody was there. It killed me how many times dudes got the ball and there was just nobody by them. It's like, I don't know what the hell was going on, but I thank you for it.
Well, Trey King would get the ball down in the post and he would have Sanford on him. I'm like, yeah. And then
how do y'all keep letting that happen?
So no, it was. I mean, and even our guards. I mean, our guards could get to the lane anytime they wanted, you know. But between Jones and King, just manhandling those dudes.
No, that game started when that game started. I mean, I literally had doubt for about 30 seconds. I would look like they wanted no part of this game.
It was like after they missed that first three, it was just like, I mean, Sanford made it. I think Sanford had 12 or 14 in the first half against us, but
Yeah.
But after he made those, he made like two in a row to make it like 8-6 or something, or six. It might even been 6-4, but after that, man, it was all downhill for him.
Yep. And I loved it. I I I texted y'all. I was like, the only thing that made me mad about the game was the fact that Iowa had given up so much. Fran was just sitting down, and we didn't get treated to one of those blow-ups. That ass beating robbed us of any potential meltdowns like he just had.
Jesus.
So, then we rolled in on Sunday, and Prairie View A&M came to town, where we just cannot get enough of black A&M schools.
They played harder than Iowa did.
Yeah, Texas A&M, Prairie View A&M, and then we got FAMU coming up.
Hey, they won the last time we played them, I think. The
Prairie View boys were fast and quick as hell. I was like, this is a pretty good defense in terms of quickness that Iowa State is facing now. That's going to be helpful. I mean, once Iowa State started making those shots, you could see the shoulder started slumping, and then things got even easier for the Clones.
Well, I mean, we turned them over just like we did. That was something else in the Iowa game. I mean, how many times did we turn them over? Didn't we turn them over almost 20 times?
Yeah.
And they're usually one of the fewest. Usually they're good on offense. I'll give them that. Usually they're good on offense. Turn it over rarely, but Taman Lipsey, taking care of the defense.
But yeah, I mean, this team is it's ahead of where I thought they were going to be in terms of they seem this defense seems more active than last year's defense.
Think so?
Yeah, and maybe they're just flying around a little bit more. But I mean, obviously both teams are playing well.
Yeah.
But this group just seems a little bit more active than the last group.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lipsey's getting more steals this year. And something that was another play in the Iowa game is the first half, and Momcilovic dove for that ball between two Iowa guys, and he was on the ground. Neither one of those guys got on the ground, and I think Gilbert, either Lipsey or Gilbert, picked it up for a fast break off of it. But I was like, that's when I knew the game was really over, because neither one of those Iowa guys got on the ground, and we have one of our two freshmen, and he's going all out, So I think that just speaks to what you're saying about the defense flying around more.
Yeah. So I mean, time will tell. We're like 10 games in or something. So we'll see. I'll re-talk about that intensity after halfway through the Big 12 season, where it's going to be a little bit rougher.
You see the rankings of like the first five, like almost seems like the first 5 teams we play, like 3 of them are in the top 10 or something like that, something crazy like that.
Yay. So yeah, coming up, like I mentioned, the women were Sunday, Wednesday. The men are, they got 3 before conference play. starts on January 6th. They've got FAMU on Sunday, and then a week from tomorrow, following Thursday, they're home with Eastern Illinois, and then the traditional New Year's Eve game. They're taking on New Hampshire, some kind of bobcat or puma or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's a funky. You should see the Florida A&M mascot on the Cyclones.com website. It's got verses next to it, so it's kind of blocking part of it out, and it almost looks like the Oregon State Beaver.
Yeah,
from the side. That's what it looks like. So yeah, noon. I almost said noon kickoff. Noon tip off on New Year's Eve, so you can go to the game and then go get the party in. What'd you say?
I said you sound like my wife. It's always the football game, no matter what. I'm like, I'm going. Yeah, everything's a football game. We got football till March.
So yeah, 3 games left before they tip off conference play at Oklahoma. Man, both of them go on the road. So yeah, men's team so far,
I think it's going to come down to
he has worked on his 3. That's blatantly obvious.
You see that, BJ?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
So far, so good.
Surprised?
No, not necessarily.
I mean, I think
he's not the best color man in the business, folks.
Oh man, no, I think he's playing first team all conference level at the least right now. I would say how far they go is going to be determined by the consistency of Trey King and Keyshawn Gilbert. If Gilbert doesn't have those nights where, if he just stays on a consistent level scoring wise, that's going to be huge.
Agreed.
Because you know who I think the other most consistent player is Jones, Rob Jones.
I knew you were going to try to sneak some bull.
Your guy. Dude, he's been playing well.
Yeah, man. I give the devil his due.
Consistently well. I mean, you know the effort each night out of him and Lipsy that you're getting. They're always balls to the wall. So yeah, I think he's one of the most important players so far.
Cool. You know what? I mentioned it earlier, but I would really like them to bring the Big 4 games back for the men's side, like the women do. Whoever's being cowardly about that, stop it. We need to see that happen.
The thing is, I mean, what do you think of like our schedule this year? I mean, outside of Iowa and that tournament, the teams, I mean, it's almost like worse than usual. You get Lindenwood, and there's just so many of them.
I mean, at this point, you might as well bring back Marathon Oil.
But I mean, it's set up that with the Big 12 being so tough, you don't need those quad 1 games in non-conference, No. So I don't know if you blame them or not, but
yeah, but unfortunately, if our seeding came down to it, I mean, our best win would be Iowa.
Yeah, that's not going to be a good one.
Yeah, And the best loss will be A&M. But yeah, VCU, Virginia Tech, A&M, DePaul, and Iowa are our best games. So,
Who's our first conference game? Is it
OU.
OU? That's right. And they're playing well too. They're undefeated.
They got a Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday.
Yeah, Houston follows OU.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah,
OU,
OU's ranked.
Houston.
OU's ranked, aren't they?
Yeah,
I think they're
11.
ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're up to 11. Damn.
But Houston's ranked top 4.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So no, it's gonna be interesting.
Interesting for sure. It's going to be interesting ride with both of these hoop squads in conference play.
Yeah, I think they'll both be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the women against North Dakota State?
Yeah.
They played.
Nope.
They played well.
Yeah. They do what they're supposed to do. Like the Clear Lake Lions.
There we go.
Cool. All right. Well, there you have it, people. Another edition of the Side Eye Podcast, the 67th edition, the first Cy Divies were handed out. And yeah, we're going to catch y'all next week. Go Cyclones.
Go Cyclones.
Go Clones.